does not look like it's actually going to happen. Now, not necessarily out of the cards, but the CPI report was released today, and there is incredible bullish news coming out of these markets. Not only is Germany almost out of Bitcoin, not only the selling pressure almost done, we are, of course, seeing, guys, Bitcoin potentially break out. We're going to be covering all the key levels, all of the news, all of the macros, and even talk about Donald Trump coming to, of course, Bitcoin Nashville. July is looking bullish more than ever, guys, here. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to Discover Crypto. We are at 1.4 million beautiful followers. And, guys, we couldn't do this without all of our members. So shout out to all of you guys that are supporting this channel. We will be live this Friday with, of course, exclusive content for the members only, with an episode specifically covering, of course, our company funds here. What does our balance sheet look like? How much crypto do we actually hold? If you want to find out, guys, make sure you guys subscribe.
How much Cosmos does TJ still hodl?
A lot of Cosmos. A lot of Cosmos.
How much ADA does DZ still hodl?
Ooh, too much. Too much, maybe. I'll come out and say that one, I think. But how much XRP do I still yell about?
I still have a little bit of XRP, and Wax is probably my most embarrassing blockchain.
Ooh, forgot about that. You gotta pull that out, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta get an ear candle out or something, man.
Gross. Well, it's not gross. It's today's partner, and of course, our always partner, our forever partner, Arculus here. Guys, type 1 in chat if you guys have self-custody. Type 2 if you do not, okay? Type 1 if you don't. Type 2. Oh my, blah, blah, blah. Type 1 if you do. Type 2 if you don't. I got you guys here. Because if you have a 2, you need to turn that into a 1 today, guys. Self-custody is the most important thing you need to have in these crypto markets. One tap, total security with your Arculus hardware wallet here. Super clean. Takes 60 seconds to sign up and is literally the most crisp self-custody hardware wallet I think I've ever seen. So make sure you guys go check that out. Code DC10 down below here. Market update. Wow, getting some life back into us. Now, unfortunately, I do have to refresh this page because it looks like it was at $59,000. If you actually look right behind DZ's head, we're now at 57,800. So getting a little bit of a pullback there.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback. We just got like 1 or 2 green 5-hour candles. I put up the 4-hour right here, and you can see, if you look on the 4-hour, well, we still look pretty bullish. We got a nice green candle. Then you kind of look a little more close, and you're like, well, the candle we're in right now, which is going to close in the next hour and 20 minutes, very strong wick on that. When you click on the 5-minute, stretch that y-axis, you can see, all right, just in a brief amount of time, Bitcoin did fall 3.5% over an hour and less than 2 hours. And so will this, can we get out of this little bit of a downtrend and maybe go back to the upside? But I will say this, we're setting in some higher lows. You start looking at some of these larger time frames, just kind of looks like, maybe some healthy pullbacks as we head in the right direction.
Yeah. And, it does look like there could be a reversal here at hand. And we're going to be covering that in just a second, because I did see some people in chat saying, yo, Discover Crypto, I was told $35,000 Bitcoin was coming in. Again, bears come out, guys, when prices drop. Bulls come in when prices rise. So just expect some outrageous predictions, both to the downside and the upside. And you want to be conservative. You just want to know. You want to hear both cases. If you guys are somebody that's new to crypto, the number one tip I can give you in crypto, guys, after being here in multiple cycles, is learn both the bear case and the bull case, so you can have at least some understanding of where everybody's coming from. But Bitcoin is now sitting at $57,800. Ran up to almost $60,000 off the CPI report today, which we'll get to in just a moment. But Ethereum here, 3150, getting some life back into Ethereum. And even, while I actually go through this market update, DZ, if you want to pull up the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, there is a high possibility Ethereum is finally about to break out. It's been in kind of being suppressed against this support level for a long time.
Yeah. We've talked about this support level for a while. If I zoom out, because this is on the daily, and you can see it's just, leaving the screen here. If we go to the 3-day, it's still leaving the screen. So if we go to the weekly, zoom in a little bit, this trend line dates all the way back to July 2017. So we're talking about multiple years. Then as we go back to the smaller time frames, you see this is, we still got a little room to the upside for Ethereum. So as this goes up, Ethereum is overperforming against Bitcoin. As this goes down, Bitcoin just says, hey, no, I am the apex predator.
I am the apex predator. You know what the apex predator is today, though?
Apex predator today is hunter's dealer. I don't know who.
Close. It's actually Shubaduki. It's leading the entire industry up 48%. Heck chat, guys.
Are you serious?
Let's get some W's in the chat.
Pump today?
50%
That's
today.
what I'm talking about.
Off of something absolutely beautiful, guys. You guys haven't checked it out, I got to shout it out, guys. We listed on none other than CoinW, which I do believe is going to be one of the largest tier 2 exchanges. I think it's the next KuCoin to be exact. But if you guys haven't already checked it out, guys, I'm going to send this CoinW link for you guys. Go check out CoinW. Ubaduki has been listed. I can't post it on there. Never
Is
mind.
there anything else in the cards, man?
Anything else in the cards? Well, not only are we in talk with, of course, multiple exchanges, but we have the Dupe trading bots launching within like 48 hours. And then FOMO.io, guys, the best fear and greed index tool on the market. Of course, I already told you guys they're going through some maintenance. But right now, you can see that we are at a 29 fear here. Make sure you guys go put your vote in today. We have over 5,000 users on this monthly, guys. Make sure you guys are going ahead and clicking bullish or bearish so you can get an actual visual on where the market is for today. But right now, retail is seeming more bearish than bullish. Which what does that tell us usually?
I'm putting in your link right now. When we're feeling more bearish than bullish, that means price may reverse.
May reverse, exactly. That's what a lot of people are talking about today. But before we jump into why, we have to cover the market, guys. $532 BNB, Solana $140, XRP getting a little bit of CPR,
Whoa.
Seeing almost 45 cents, Deezy.
3% pump today. Whoa,
Yeah.
But look at that Cardano
Wow,
pump.
I was about to say, I was
40
like,
cents.
Whoa, hey, yo, Cardano is ripping.
Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. But it used to be $3, you said.
Oh, man. And that is when we retired. Last 24-hour movers, guys. You guys know the drill. Make sure you smash that like button. If you guys haven't already, guys, zoom out just a little bit. Come out, scroll out of the mobile device, hit that little like thumbs up button on the YouTube video, guys. It helps us out with the algorithm. It pushes us into that page.
We've already got 600 people in here, only 100 likes. I know more than a fifth of you or sixth of you guys like us. So if you could smash the like for positive Bitcoin momentum, because we got to get those likes up so more people can hear about Bitcoin, so more people can buy Bitcoin, so we can all get rich. That's what we're going for.
All get W's in the chat. W's in the chat, guys. Look at this. Mantra here, absolutely crushing it. One of the best performers this entire bull market. Up over 50, 60x at this point. I think it bought around about a penny and a half. Crushing it. Up 10% in the last 24 hours. Up 31% in the last 7 days. Stacks. Okay. This I want to point out. Stacks has been leading the market over the last couple of days here. And this not only tells me that there could be a signal shift in Bitcoin's ecosystem and Bitcoin's price, but again, there's a lot of interest into these Bitcoin layer twos. And I think people, yes, guys, we had a bit of a pullback from the Bitcoin halving, right? Welcome to your first cycle, right? But with like OrdiSwap and all these DeFi products and Stacks and Alex Labs or whatever the borrowing lending protocols are on that ecosystem, just know companies like Marathon Digital, your largest Bitcoin miners out there that are backed by BlackRock, they're building their own Bitcoin layer twos and sidechains because this is where a lot of profit is made.
Well, Josh, Bitcoin retraced 25%. Shouldn't I just sell all my crypto and leave crypto forever?
Yes, because what goes up shouldn't come down, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's
Jim
not
Cramer.
sellers.
Jim Cramer said, maybe I should sell and buy, I don't know, overbought stock instead. So I was going to do that.
You're going to do exactly that. Don't I want to do that? I'd be cautious. I would be cautious. Personally, guys, we're people that have been buying since 15K, 30K, 45K. You guys got to understand when we cover the news, we might be a little bit biased because we've been in these markets for multiple cycles. TJ here is he's actually 47 now in crypto years.
Exactly.
He has been through not only 2 cycles, he's been through I think 3.
He literally had to wear a neck brace yesterday. He's aging right in front of our eyes.
He can't even turn right now because Bitcoin's pumping so much.
I'm definitely aging in crypto years. That is for sure.
Well, we got Aave here, guys, up 16.2%. Arweave 7%. Near Protocol, man, I love seeing that, 5.7. And Bitcoin Trash. Sorry, there was a smudge on my glasses. Bitcoin Cash, 5.4% here. Top losers in the last 24 hours are none other than BitTensor, Tau, Bonk. We got some meme coins, pulling back here. Render and Ethereum name service here. Jupiter as well, Akash falling shortly behind that. But why are these markets moving this way, guys? Okay, markets pumped this morning because of one thing and one thing only. It was the June CPI inflation rate, which falls to 3.0%. below expectations of 3.1%. Now, core CPI inflation fell to 3.3, below expectations of 3.4, and this marks the 39th consecutive month. Wow, 39th consecutive month with inflation at or above 3%. That just sounds crazy.
Yeah. Also, though, we are heading in the right direction. Also, third straight month with declining CPI inflation. But yeah, 39 months. 48 months. That's going to be 4 years. It doesn't sound that crazy, 2% to 3%, but that's a 50% jump.
Yeah, it's a 50% jump, and it's also caused a massive jump on the Fed watch tool here, which now, guys, in 20 days, we have the FOMC meeting, but check this probability out. There was a jump in July's ratings. This used to be like 96 to like 4% or 3%. There's now 8% of the market saying, you know what, we might get a rate cut in July this month. Now, of course, I'm going to be with the 91% of the audience out there and be like, no, there's not one coming in July. But what does September look like? There is now less than a 10% chance that markets believe there is not going to be an interest rate, or less than 11%, not going to be an interest rate cut in this September meeting. And so this is a huge takeaway, right? I've been telling you guys for, what is it, weeks now, days now, with the, as we've been covering the story, I needed the CPI data to come out and make sure, okay, yeah, that is declining. Inflation is falling off, because Fed Chair Powell, if you guys listen to the House meeting or the Senate committee hearing, he is straight about it. He's like, we need more data that shows us that, of course, the job market is weakening and inflation's coming down before they cut those interest rates. So, we do probably want one more month, but by next month, if we have positive readings, job numbers come in, a little bit weaker than expected, we could be finally seeing that rate cut here in September. And what this means, and I want to get both TJ's thoughts and DZ thoughts here, okay? I want us to be prepared for both cases. So there's the bear case, right? People, like, let's say Mt. Gox and Germany, which is really almost out of Bitcoin, so we can't really be fighting that anymore. But let's say we somehow have a black swan that breaks us to 46K, right? You guys are prepared for that. But what happens if we get a run-up to the September FOMC meeting? What does that tell you about market conditions?
It will tell you that maybe the powers that be, the big whales, they're seeing what's going to happen to the money supply. They probably are going to predict, we talked about that M2 money chart. We went up. We went up all through COVID, quantitative easing. It was just up and up and up. But then over the past, I would say 36 months, a little bit of a dip, but then the M2 money supply started to do this. And then that is what's going to create this, I would say, asset explosion for prices there. And Bitcoin is just going to have, that's where we start talking about $200,000 Bitcoin. I know.
Wow.
I know. This cycle.
That was the first time they have seen that one. TJ, what do you got on it?
No, I agree. I think there was actually a couple interesting things that I noticed when you were looking at the market watch, going over the things. Obviously, Bitcoin had a pump and it pulled back down to about even. And then we also had a lot of altcoins that had significant moves, outperforming Bitcoin. I'm starting to see ETH tick up a little bit more than Bitcoin. I think people are prepared for that ETF rally. So smells like the beginning of alt season. We do know Bitcoin has to lead the charge for a while. So I think, everything that we talked about yesterday is proving to look pretty much true. Like the numbers came in strong. The Fed is starting to have language and start to talk about positioning a pivot towards cuts. Obviously, the market is pricing that in. September is the perfect time for us. So yeah, I still think we're pushing well beyond all-time highs this cycle. I've held from the beginning. I do think at the top we will break a $200,000 Bitcoin. I think we could be potentially looking at 90,000 in change, pushing up towards 100 by the end of this year. There's still a long time. It's still not technically in the best TA structure, but if we can finish above 60K this week, that'd make me feel a lot better. But I actually see the fact that we've absorbed the German sell-off so well. That's pretty dang bullish. And I know you guys will get into it a little bit later in the show, but who's buying to me has been fascinating. These whale wallets accumulating. Smart institutional long-term money has accumulated heavily in this dip. So we're going to cover that more. But to me, and I was thinking about this last night, you have to kind of look beneath the surface. Obviously, we've been doing this a while. We've got probably a much more inside view of how crypto and money and global economics works than somebody who's new to doing this. That being said, there's people that have been in this space 10, 12, 15 years. If you look at, who's getting messed with right now, like why did Roger Ver get messed with randomly a few months ago? Why did CZ have to step down and Jesse Powell had to get out of the way and Eric Voorhees? They all have to keep their distance because what we're experiencing right now is government, nation. This is global economic warfare of positioning of the highest kind. And the real whales and string pullers are swimming deep, deep, deep beneath the surface. And we can feel the reverberations of their moves. And we've learned to interpret that. And that's part of our experience here. But I was just really thinking about it last night. This is totally a changing of the guard of who's pulling the strings and making decisions around the world. And it's going to be a explosive move when it happens.
Yeah, the German selling being absorbed is one of the most bullish things I've seen in the last 12 months.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I will say
I would say even
since
in the
ETF.
last two cycles.
Well, the ETF, that's pretty bullish. I would say, is at least the second most bullish thing I've seen in the last year.
Definitely. Yeah. I would have to agree with that. I'm going to give my thoughts on that because I want to give if we do get this run up, this is kind of something, and guys, this is complete speculation on all three of our parts.
Yeah.
Right. This is wow, holy smokes, Doob. Whoa, hey. Bro's sketch, if you know what I'm saying. But either way, guys, if we do get this run up and we do get this bullish reversal, a lot of analysts are now talking about, this is what I would be cautious with, okay? This is what I would see maybe, might take capital. Let's say we break up, come back down, whatever, retest this trend line that we've seen with Bitcoin, and it finally does break out to the upside. You start getting all this bullish narrative, bullish sentiment, whatever. You go to $80,000, $90,000 towards September, and obviously this is going to look like this, by the way, guys. It's going to be way closer. This is where I would expect that retest of this breakout of this massive trend line that we've been setting. So yeah. I don't know if we go up to 80, 95, 100K, whatever it is, but if we do break out, I would expect a retest after that.
Yep.
And that would be, by the way, if we were to break out to 90K, this is just where historically, it's almost always the same. Say you go to 90K and we break down to that retest line. Let's actually go a little bit closer here, right? Let's go to, where are we? Monday, go to now October. So September-ish right here, right? Then we get that 30% retracement down to that line, 25, 24. Yeah, it'd be 68,000 to be another 25% dip on the market.
Yep. And think of all the buy orders at $1,000 above 68, just because crypto is full of degens. I could definitely see that. Yeah, that actually looks like a story that could quite plausibly play out there. I want to show one quick thing on the rate cuts. Poly Market is still saying 2 cuts are going to happen this year. In fact, slight, but maybe agreeing with Josh here. More people think it's going to be 1 versus 3, but the majority coming in for 2. I'm also just kind of coming in for 2.
Yeah, I'd probably be around the same, right?
I think it's what September, November would probably be my guess.
Yeah. Well, you might. I think you have the December one too.
Is 6 even possible? I'd have to look.
They could do it, but what would they jump by 50%?
Yeah.
So they would just. I don't think we're gonna have that big of a the economy's too strong, and people don't want to admit that. But the job market's not it's not the strongest, but it's not the weakest. So I think they have some playroom. But here, let's get some professional perspective here from, of course, Kevin Swenson. Bitcoin recovery towards all-time high could Benson. Sorry, yeah, takes months.
Actually, fun fact, if you guys, he's going to be staying with us in Nashville at the Bitcoin. Yes. We're doing a streaming house. If anybody's going to be out in Bitcoin Nashville and wants to make some content, we've got a streaming house with a lot of content creators that are going to be there. So if you guys are going to be out there, let us know and want to come through for an interview. But Kevin is one of the ones staying in the house. So shout out to him.
And he's a fantastic technical analyst. So if you guys, want anything to learn TA, definitely recommend you go check him out. But he goes out here right now and says, so I think that we probably found the low, and we're likely going to bounce from here and start some kind of sideways recovery and then eventually break into a new all-time high. The reason for this is he's just showing some basic technicals here. We got a lot of very bullish divergence taking places. So, just like the RSI bottomed out, what was this, 2 months ago? It kind of feels like it was forever ago, but it did this not too long ago. The market did the same thing. Higher, a lower high or lower low, higher low, etc. And same thing where we're at today now as well. And then when you're looking at the volume or the MACD, he's got the MACD out right here with, again, that RSI. We have now set the exact same trend. We're getting a very bullish divergence in these markets. So this is what I've been talking about with the RSI and the MACD. Which, for some reason, we've maybe faced a little bit of backlash talking about that. But, history tends to repeat itself. It doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. And looking at the data back over the last year, every time, and actually over the entire history of Bitcoin, every time we see these bullish divergences, guys, take place on the RSI and the MACD, you tend to get that bullish reversal here. So whether we go to 70K next, 68K next, no matter what, the technicals are screaming bullish. Bitcoin is trading at $58,250 or $520 at time of writing. According to Svensson, Bitcoin is showing bullish divergences on the daily time frame on 2 momentum oscillator indicators, the RSI, of course, and that MACD. A bullish divergence, which suggests a potential reversal to the upside, occurs when the price of an asset records lower lows while the indicator is witnessing higher highs. And then again, there it is mapped out for you. Now, he also has this pulled out right here. Every time the RSI reaches that oversold level on the daily, we don't spend too much time there. So this is just confirming everything I actually just said with you guys. And he pulls up. It's beautiful. I should have scrolled down a little bit further. Shout out to Kevin here. But look at this historically, right? When we bottomed out, Friday 18th, August 23. Or sorry, what is this? Am I reading that chart right? Yeah, I am. My glasses are broken here. The 18th of August 2023, 23rd of January 2024, the 8th of March 2023. Every time we bottomed out on the RSI, it was anywhere from 8. The longest day was 65 days before a ultimate breakout for Bitcoin's price action. So yeah, not too far away from that, I would say.
Yeah, no, I just went into the charts to confirm for myself. And yeah, it has been a long time. And it brought up that August date right there. You can see we went massively oversold. But yeah, we have a great bull div forming right now. And one other thing I wanted to add, the monthly RSI. He's talking about RSI. This is an interesting chart as well. This is monthly RSI going back years and years. You can see all the cycles right there. Last cycle, I'm making a prediction here. Last cycle, we went extremely oversold in April, not so much in November, even though we had the higher high in November. I think this cycle is going to be the inverse of this. I think we're going to have the short peak above the RSI oversold area here, and then we'll have the big green banana zone where it's like, oh my God,
Banana
Bitcoin's
zone.
just going to the insane areas there. So I think we're going to have just a reverse of this. So it'll be instead of the big one, then the small one, it'll be the small one. We're probably going to get just a really, really nice green oversold.
And
I can see is maybe, getting up to about this high.
If you also look at that moving average there, the yellow line for the chat there, you can see that, when that monthly comes down and touches it, it generally, like 90% of the time, it bounces.
Yeah.
So this could also indicate that we're about to get that first bounce. You can even see actually maybe what is that, 6 months ago, we bounced off it extremely. That's when we had the first parabolic rise in this market, I would say. That was when we first
just be like a little healthy reset like we did right here, and you can see last cycle, we also had another healthy reset. Some might say there's something that maybe kind of messed that up.
Well,
though.
give
We're not
us
gonna
your
get into
guys'
that.
Bitcoin price predictions in the chat right now. I want to see what you guys, we got a lot of new faces, guys. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, guys. Say what's up to all the new faces. Welcome to our channel. Appreciate all the support. Hit that like button. But I want to know, what are your guys' Bitcoin price predictions for 2024? What's going to happen this year?
$95,000 this year. I think
95.
And I'm a cranky old granny. I'm like 80K.
I think
I'm a cranky grandma.
that's a pretty good pick. It's hard to, like 90s is probably where I would fall to, but I'll just round it. I'll take the high and go 100K just for the fun. I say we touch 100K this year and pull. I think we pull back pretty hard off it. And I like the chart Josh just did to show, like, if we're up in the 90s, we pull back to retest 70K, like something like that. I could see go up to 100, pull back 25, 30%. Reset going into Q1 of next year, and then try to make that run from 100 to 200.
We got out here 115K, Alexander 84K, Mike Bennett $33,333 by the end of the year. 100K retail comes in and goes to 200,000 from A here. Nanana 88K, Nanana. Shiba Army 86K. Lynn's a lot of 80 plus Ks out. $240,000 coming from Moonwalker.
I mean, yeah, he's got that moon shot for sure.
Oh, we got windows
he's
here.
got to be thinking for the end of the cycle.
$1 million.
I think he's high off propofol, like Michael Jackson.
Let me ask you guys
Too
this. This is another random thought. My TJ's random thoughts of the day that I had last night. Do either of you ever question? There's a lot of people that they're new to this. They're buying, they're investing, and they ask themselves, like, what if it goes, what if it goes down to 0? What if it goes to 20K? What if it goes to 30? Like, what if we don't get, like, what if 69K was the top for this cycle? People do ask themselves that. Do either of you, does that thought enter your mind at all? Or do you struggle with that at all? Do you have any fear of like 69K was the top? Either one of you?
I'd say it's impossible to have that thought process if you see how well we bought up and absorbed Germany sell-off. I would also say the adoption we've seen at this rate with the ETFs, the inflows, we're talking billions upon billions of dollars in inflows, and we're seeing billions upon billions leave exchanges now for Bitcoin. So, and like, you don't see this, when we tend to see this throughout history in these markets, guys, we've been through multiple cycles. That happens at the bottom. That happens at 15K. That happened at, 10K or whatever it was the cycle before, or 3K, 4K, right? That's when you see that transition. But now we have institutional interest. You have sovereign wealth funds entering this. You have now advisors for asset management companies talking about a 2 to 5% portfolio allocation. It used to be 0.5%, only Bitcoin. Now they're talking about 2 to 5, and they're talking about allocating to Ethereum and get Solana ETFs and other trusts and start really becoming exposed to this market. So for me, 100K isn't a matter of, if, it's a matter of when. And I don't know if that's, again, this year or next year or 2026, but I think it's coming. But to say that there's not going to be road bumps ahead, to say that, 100,000 is not a psychological number, let's be real. I think once we break 80K, I don't think anybody can like precisely predict what that price will be, because I think once we break 80K, retail is going to start thinking, wow, 100K is coming. 100K is coming. They start stacking in, and that's when you get that euphoric merge into this. And I want to be just ready for what's the pressure against that. The pressure to me is a weakening economy. It might be the rate cuts off what we've seen historically. And I want to be prepared for that $100,000 pullback that goes back 30% again. right? Because you're going to see this rinse and repeat. Altcoins get wrecked, and then we're going to just do what we always do, right? We sold the top of the AI rally. We sold a Bitcoin spot ETF. I want us to, again, sell out at the right time and accumulate when we go back into another bearish condition.
I would say there's two reasons why I don't think Bitcoin can go to zero anymore. If you asked me 18 months ago, I would say, there's a slight probability of that. The reason that's most important, the dollar seems like it's well on its way to losing the status as a reserve currency. Now, there's a lot of signs pointing to that. I think that Bitcoin is the likely contender to maybe take its place more so than the Chinese yuan. Reason number two, BlackRock's, just basically able to buy that, buying billions of dollars worth. BlackRock's just too well connected to the financial elite for them to ban it at this point.
And off that note, that is like the most probably important notes that I think that you can make against this argument, because like they're coming in, Goldman Sachs now, they're all tokenizing blockchain, right? So that means all regulation is going to be very, very pro Bitcoin Ethereum because they want the technology to make a ton of money.
Well, that and they know they're printing the dollar into oblivion at this point.
Oblivion. And this is going to save them a ton. So it's just like, it's the obvious choice here. So while you're being scared.
Well, one thing I want to say, there's also a point I heard. It's a psychological number, 100K. Retail will see that and enter the market. I heard something. Most of the world won't care about Bitcoin until it hits $1 million.
That could be true too. I agree it's a psychological number, but like to TJ's point, like I think it's like as psychological number, that's where retail is going to expect to sell out. And so you get a pullback before then. And then once you do break through it again, you get another, that's when it starts piling in. Because what's crazy is now you're in the 6-figure category. So when Bitcoin goes from $108,000 to $100,000, no one's going to care, right? Versus 72,000 to 64,000, everybody fucking cares.
Josh, do you want to speak on the comment that you look more like a Boston Red Sox fan than a Yankees fan?
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
he's just trying to convert
shout out
me.
to Manawak, 5 months being a member, Dream Team. You're the Dream Team. Very thankful to know each of you personally. That's right. He's came to the BitBoy meetups. Back all the way back in the day. Discover all the way. Maybe he'll be in Nashville. So many years.
He's come hung out here several times. Been on the basement a lot.
Yeah, he's a basement side guest,
he's
right?
almost like part of the team here. I mean, he's part of the family. So huge shout out to Manawak, member for 5 months. Ally, really appreciate him. Awesome dude. Thanks for being a supporter. Thanks for being here. We love all you guys. So.
Also, nobody got it. I'm a Padres fan, by the way. I'm from San Diego.
Okay. I used to like the Astros, then they kept cheating.
Oh, ours just keep losing.
I was a Bagwell fan back in the day.
Well, hey guys, while everybody is scared out there, smart money is doubling down, and that's because this dip is nothing new. Yeah, have you heard that before? As you can see, Bitcoin goes to new all-time highs every 4 years, 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024, question mark. Notice how in every single consecutive cycle, the Bitcoin returns get smaller by about 60%. That would imply, look at this, guys, 9,000% increase in 2012, 3,000% increase in 2016, 1,200% increase in 2020. What would that mean for 2024? Well, it'd put us at 450%, putting Bitcoin at around $330,000 coins. And this is talking about specifically from the all-time high. Now, thoughts on this? I think there's something known as diminishing returns. And I think that as you get to a larger market cap, man, I would I want to be so freaking wrong and just be, my expectations blown out of the water, because at the end of the day, we're all going to retire. You guys can all come on this show. We'll have this show hosted on a private island. Well, islands have a bad name now. We'll go to like Italy or something and all as a company, collectively as a community. But my point is 800 days here. This is what he drew out. You have $800 of a rally, $800 of a bull run. And again, we're now entering that 800 days, or not $800, but 800 days of another bull run here.
This thing also works for bear markets. It's like from the top to, I think the bottom is maybe like there's something that's like around 1,150 days. And I used it to almost perfectly predict the bottom. I said the bottom was 16,200, ended up being 15,900. I was off by like
gotta retire.
Might have actually been 36 hours now I'm thinking about it.
Well, I mean,
I should just give up.
Great point.
That's just
too terrible.
Yeah. Now, of course, by that time, I had expended too much of my dry powder and didn't buy as much as I wanted at the very pico bottom.
Well, at least you did buy the bottom, right? Yeah. Because this is why I've been such a large advocate for, a lot of you that are coming in are brand new, right? This is your first cycle. Like at 15K, at 30K this cycle, at 3K, at 10K last cycle, at 15, every time we've seen these, we get to these close to these bottoms. When you get down to like, that low, all of a sudden, even though you're down this like massive percentage, people start going, oh no, we're going to go to 3K. We're going to go to 6K. We're going to see $800 Bitcoin. And you're like, okay, because at the top, when you're at $80,000 Bitcoin, guys, again, or when we're at 75K, you're going to start seeing it. $250,000 price predictions, $500,000 price predictions. That's kind of your indication that you're starting to really fall into that greed category, and another pullback is going to be pretty close. But BitMEX sees historic $2 billion Bitcoin outflows as analysts project imminent Bitcoin rebound here. On July 5th and 6th, a staggering 23,000 Bitcoin. As many Bitcoin, by the way, wait, how is this?
No, that's just on the 5th. And then on the 6th, it was an additional 12,000.
So almost as many Bitcoin as Germany sold has been taken off exchanges, and all of the Bitcoin being sold has been purchased. So that is incredibly bullish, showing that people want to hold on to those assets. The month of July has an average of $1.75 billion in Bitcoin ETF volume per day among the 7 largest ETFs. Yeah, Bitcoin ETFs are one of the largest ETFs in the world. However, things have picked up after a slow start. Average volume July 1st, 1.2 billion. Average volume July 4th, 2.1 billion, a 72%
yeah,
rise.
which is surprising because, it's
the day off.
It's
the close holiday.
Well, actually, you know what? I lied. I'm looking at it. They're looking at 3 days versus 6.
3 days.
Come
Gotcha.
on.
Okay.
Come on, sentiment.
We fell for it.
Yeah,
Bitcoin whale and shark wallets are increasing in number while small traders sell off their bags during this dip period. Yes, whales are buying, shrimp are selling. July has seen a net increase of 261 wallets that now hold at least 10 Bitcoin, which should give traders comfort in long-term bullish future.
Yeah, this was something that was really interesting to me. Look at that chart right there. You can see as the price is falling, that purple line there is the number of large wallet holders just rising rapidly as the price fell. And then again, as we went sideways, it continued to drive up dramatically. And remember, we call this an accumulation zone. You can literally see it right there on the chart. That is whales accumulating on a falling price and accumulating while it was going sideways. I mean,
and what did they say? X marks the spot.
Yeah,
that's the bottom there.
261 new wallets in a couple day period of 10 Bitcoin is a lot. And so this is why I keep saying, like, this is big money accumulating, building positions, battling back and forth. Like, people ask all the time, like, oh, why can't Germany, like, announce that they're going to sell and then short? They can, and they probably are. And so what you have
I don't know, they're not the smartest country, though.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying this is
I'm just kidding. That was a roast.
What's fascinating about this is we're actually experiencing a true free market, which we haven't done in a long time. And if you remember the last time the markets were free, that's when the families like the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers and some of the other R-named families were put together because of the way they were able to manipulate the markets. That's able to happen right now. It is happening at a major scale. And so this is a battle of big money. So yes, Germany announces to sell. They might be shorting. And then on the other side, you've got massive billion position countries and entities and individuals buying this stuff up, battling back and forth, defending certain levels. This is the CZs and the Justin Sons and the Arthur Hayes and the people that have been doing this stuff for a long time. They understand the cycles very well. They understand the nuances of a free, open crypto market a lot better than people that are used to playing in regulated markets. And so I think that's what we're experiencing right now is people that are used to having regulations and rules rigged in their favor, trying to battle against free market participants who have actually learned to read and understand this market. And it's to me, I think we have had diminished returns the last cycle or two. I think it will end this cycle because we're actually seeing big money get into this free market. So.
Well, and I agree with a lot of that. And you made a very valid point with with CZ. Mm-hmm. I used to be someone that was a huge advocate against CZ. I got blocked by him because I would be like, dude, you're doing all these illegal things.
Yeah, when you first started here, that was one of the things we mostly disagreed about.
And I ended up being completely right on all the guilty issues. But what I was wrong about was CZ was dude, he's one of the smartest people on the planet. You know what he just did? He just beat the game. Mm-hmm. 4 months in white collar prison, and this guy made more than generational wealth. He made like multi-generational wealth, and he's going to come right back now, completely free here, and do whatever he wants and approach it in a new way. And regulations are going to shift in his pot. Like, that is where money is flowing in. Institutions are moving in. That's something I didn't conceptualize, early on. I thought, like, if he was going to get like a 2-3 year prison sentence, people may have been like, you know what? Okay, we're going to pause and pump the brakes. Now they're like, look, get a slap on the wrist, and you can go make billions of dollars.
I'll say this about CZ. He maybe technically broke laws, but I don't think he did anything wrong. You brought up there's families, the Rockefellers, the Red Shields, there's all these other families. There's one whale entity that we're not talking about. And we're talking about, whales catching dips and, buying on the way down and all this other stuff. There's these giant wallets that have never sold, and they're accumulating and they're accumulating. They have billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. When I think of these giant wallets that never sold, I'm thinking of the Rockefellers and names like that.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of these giant wallets, we almost got
DuPont.
ahead of ourselves here, guys. But Bitcoin price decline on Germany, Mt. Gox, and miner sell pressure. So for anybody in chat that was are we going to go lower? Is Bitcoin going to go further down? Should you sell now and buy at 51 or 46K, right? This article is for you. All of that pressure, that selling pressure, may be overblown now. Who would have thought that when everybody used fearmonger to get views, that usually it doesn't end
We
well?
stopped the dump. I pulled up the
Let me
5-minute
see.
chart. You can almost see exactly when the show started, everybody.
Let me open this image in
We
the
were
tab.
the support. It was you. It was the disco fam. Everybody, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button if you're part of the fam.
That's Germany's daily sell-off, and they've only got a
Yes.
couple left. So
I love seeing that. Yeah, it's like so we're almost out of this, and it's now over. Again, people are like, "Oh, we're gonna go to 36K. We're gonna go to 25K. We're gonna go to like all these crazy numbers." And all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh no, there was actually demand for Bitcoin at these levels." Interesting take there from, of course, that article. Marty Party here. German government wallet now at 9.9K Bitcoin. So for you guys, if you didn't know this, they only have 9,000 Bitcoin left. They started with like 50K, so they are almost out of their Bitcoin. Now have less than roughly $500 million, only 500 million. New Bitcoin mining report from Bernstein, who expects $200,000 in Bitcoin here, reiterating the predictions of $200,000 for Bitcoin by the end of 2025. Bernstein comes out and analysts stated that their predictions that Bitcoin will reach 500,000 by the end of 2029 and 1 million by the end of 2023. Now, I'm not someone that's under the million category, but I am someone that believes in if you look at the marginal cost of production and compare it to gold, and you put that over like a 15-year time scale, guys, it's like $653,000 Bitcoin. It's actually insane. If you actually connect it with how much energy it can reduce, or how much energy it consumes by mitigating carbon emissions and actually increasing GDP and building all this growth for economies, it's actually a really, really cool, nerdy thing to look at. But there's a 90% chance Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high before March of 2025. I would agree with this.
Yeah.
Reed estimating a network adoption curve.
Breaking news. We
Breaking
do have
Breaking
fresh
news.
data from Arkham Intelligence regarding the German government. Because, I saw that Marty Party tweet was 3 hours old. I was like, well, let me go to Arkham. And I found Arkham tweet. They haven't tweeted about it yet. So we have a 40. Yeah, I'll accept your stupid cookies. 44 minutes ago, 56 minutes ago. They are now down to 500 million. They are under 10,000 Bitcoin. They have sold 4 out of every 5 Bitcoin. Actually, a little bit more.
almost done.
Almost done. Yeah.
Almost done. U.S. lawmakers are also almost done as they meet with crypto advocates in D.C. roundtable. And Annetta Dunn, a senior advisor to Joe Biden, attended the roundtable in her personal capacity amid reports the U.S. president was considering changing his position on crypto.
How about that Clooney?
Yeah, can we? Okay, we're not going to talk about George Clooney. George Clooney.
Did you see the viral post where they
Disgusting.
use all his movie titles?
Yeah.
That was actually hilarious. Did you see that, TJ?
No, I didn't see
Oh,
it.
it's like, you're probably bellowing, "Oh, brother, where art thou?" And as it didn't go, and then it's like, you're going to need the ER. It was really, really well put together.
Look, I want to get, this is where chat needs, let's get everybody excited, guys. We have over 900 people watching, guys. One, smash that like button. Let's get those fire emojis. I want to see fire, or lightning. Let's do lightning tonight. Lightning emojis are the coolest. I like lightning emojis. Guys, spam those emojis in chat. I want everybody to wake up, okay? We have like the entire Duke army in here who's stoked. They're up by like 100% today. We have insane new products launching. Bitcoin is pumping. CPI report was bullish. The current administration is now changing, right? I want you guys to get excited for the first time because I feel like everybody's not been so excited for crypto over the last 3 months. Now's the time to get excited. So smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you guys haven't already. And if you guys are brand new, make sure you guys turn on those notifications. We give you guys crypto news Monday through Friday every single morning and keep you guys up to date with everything that's happening in these markets, guys. So thank you for all the support. Shout out to, again, all of our members. And again, if you're not a member already, make sure you guys do so because this Friday, myself, TJ, and DZ are going to be exposing our multi-million-dollar portfolio and how much we are down in the last 3 months, okay? Because, look, guys, we got skin in the game. We got a lot of skin in the game. And sometimes it feels like we're almost out of skin because it's just bleeding so much.
Look, I maybe had a coin that fell 30%, but I got 2% in staking rewards.
Hey, let's go, dude. Yeah, but you guys got to remember, we have been in for a long time, guys. There's the emojis. I absolutely love it. Thank you, guys. What we got from, let's close this one right here. I went backwards too far. Can't go backwards.
We do have the Biden, as Trump buys his backing. Biden yet to confirm his participation in Bitcoin 24.
Oh, yeah.
What are the odds Biden would show up?
Yeah, what are the odds Joe Biden shows up to
less
Bitcoin?
Than 10%. I would say less than 5%.
I would say 0%.
I would say less than 1%.
I'd say like 0.0001%.
Yeah.
There's a very limited
probably
chance.
standing room only at the Trump.
Look, It's actually a 0% chance because they can't close down and lock in and monitor all that. They can't create their own artificial stage. They can't mute Trump. They can't mute the audience. They can't mute, like, nobody likes Joe Biden. The only people that like Joe Biden are paid DNC shills. But either way, moving on, invite out
real quick before you hit that next story, just huge shout out to Alexandra G, one of our members, just gifted a Discover Crypto membership. So huge shout out to her.
Laserface.
Yeah, Laserface. Congratulations, you got that gifted membership. So awesome. Thank you so much for that. That's pretty sweet. So,
changing to Mrs. Obama. Yeah, no, shout out to you guys. Thank you for the gifted subs, Alexandra. Seriously, much love to you guys.
One of our top mods, always in here, does a great job. So appreciate it.
I feel like it's just, isn't that weird? Like, we like know, like Alexandra, we know, like, we spend so much time together.
Yeah.
But like,
she's the first,
that's why I'm excited for Nashville.
First one in the chat. Like when I open up the room, today she wasn't the first one in there, but almost always every day she's the first one to pop in. And
first
say hello.
one.
Yeah.
But even for like Jay, Mr. Zach, there's a lot of faces in here that are all like, you know, I mean, Alexander in here like day in, day out. I'm excited for Nashville, guys. I hope some of you guys are going. Come meet us.
See all the people.
I want to meet a lot of you guys and put a face to the name, you know, because this is crazy. We spend more time together than with our entire families and probably even the entire time we spent with our friends in our school educational system. So
yeah,
you know,
it's true.
So we have that right here.
Our internet friends are the truest friends.
We're the Disco Inferno, baby.
How many times we've traveled to another country to meet people we've never met but only know by name on internet and then just spend like 3 weeks with them.
Or just their cartoon avatar.
It is insane. I absolutely love Tinder. Uniswap, no, I'm just kidding. Cite Supreme Court ruling to push back against SEC's DeFi oversight. Yeah, we're going to see more Supreme Court rulings to push back against the SEC.
It's all off the Chevron doctrine. So yeah, there's good news for Uniswap holders.
Very, very bullish news. Judge Mary Rowland said that Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities. More judges are coming out and looking at the crypto market in a very positive direction. And of course, the CFTC chair, we covered this, but he came out and also announced this. Instead, I believe over 75% of crypto assets, if not 80, were commodities. Roughly by definition.
Yeah, I would say by value, but not by number of tokens.
By value, not number of tokens.
Yeah, because, you know, like 8,000 meme tokens created every day. They're all securities. So, you know, by value, with Bitcoin,
because
not all of them, that's right.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between a scam, but like, you know, are they actually securities? I don't know, because they're not promising an investment contract.
Some are.
They promise no utility.
And this exactly right there, this confusion is why the SEC is done. And,
yeah.
You know, if that why that Chevron hearing was really, really important. I know I mentioned it a little. We didn't talk about it a ton on this channel. It's kind of abstract because it doesn't directly relate to crypto. But the fact that ruling came down the way it did is basically, for those of you who don't know, about a case where the regulatory bodies and the rules were unclear. The industry asked for clarity from the bodies that were supposed to provide it. None happened. Years went by. Industry came up. Businesses were running. The SEC later came back and tried to apply, regulation by enforcement. And so basically what they started to do is say, look, federal agencies can't apply laws outside of what would have been voted on by Congress in this kind of framework, which is exactly what the SEC's done. It will pretty much seal the fate of the SEC in any case against XRP or Ripple, against Coinbase, against Consensus, against many of these industry leaders that are getting pressured by the SEC now. It's pretty much cut the legs out of what they could do from a power standpoint. It's just why the CFTC is happy to step in, and they've actually been easier to work with, I would say, but even they haven't really done a whole lot. They've kind of let the SEC step in it on their own, and now the SEC's done. The CFTC's like, hey, we'll come in and do this. We'll call it all commodities. And
I saw one Chevron doctrine example this morning. It's bad for Tesla stockholders. California forcing all cars sold in that state to be electric by 2032. They're citing the Chevron doctrine. It's like, you are definitely overstepping your bounds.
Yeah,
forcing us to not be able to buy a gasoline combustible engine.
Right. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I want to answer someone in chat because I've been asked about OPSEC. Yeah, guys. OPSEC's like an amazing trade that we made way back in like March. I think they got hacked over the last like 24 hours or something like that, and they've dropped by like 90%.
Ooh.
But I have no idea anything else. We covered it a little bit in last night's live. But if you guys were affected by that, that's unfortunate, guys. That's unfortunate. We haven't been in OPSEC since March of this year at this point. Are we reaching 59K today? We'll look behind DZ's head, another $58,103. Yes, that is exciting here. But let's ask the chat here, guys. Type 1 in chat if you like XRP. Type 2 in chat if you don't. Okay, because we have some bullish news for XRP holders here today. So 1 in chat if you like XRP, 2 if you do not, because the opportunity in payments, according to Goldman Sachs, is within Ripple. Banks joined RippleNet to process cross-border payments in real time with end-to-end tracking and certainty. And this is, of course, what I believe is actually coinciding the price action today and giving it a 3% pump here.
Nice little pump. One of the bigger pumpers in the top 15.
So got some value to that. Man, who was quick on the Discover Crypto chat?
That's me.
Who really, really quick.
That's me.
How tokenized real-world assets. We got about mixed signals, guys. Hey, Bullish, I really want you guys to win with XRP this cycle. How tokenized real-world assets are outperforming crypto. You know what they're not outperforming? Ondo, but
man.
Either way, whether to hedge against crypto volatility and utility and efficiencies or streamlined access alternatives. Wow, now we're getting a bunch of ones. Balls deep in here.
Yeah, balls deep on that one button.
Real-world assets tokenized have been growing in popularity. And now we don't really need to dive into these articles, super deep, because you guys know we cover this literally every single day. RWA XYZ, that dashboard. Are we up another 10 million?
Let's hope so.
Yeah, say 10 million.
0.01 B's up.
It's plus 1.1% from 7. Oh, I think it updates weekly now. But either way, still it's up to 1.81 billion.
Come on, pay for those Chainlink oracles.
Everything.
Burn my Chainlink.
Investors, institutional investors, DeFi, DWF Labs partners with TrueFi.
Is that Rafi in the picture?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
That does look like
looks
Crypto
like
Network.
Rafi's AI
It's
image.
Crypto Network here, guys. But TrueFi. So yeah, institutional DWF Labs partners with TrueFi. TrueFi is another tokenization product. If you guys go to rwa.xyz, you can actually see it's number 10 in the world and is up 73% in terms of market cap here over the last 30 days.
All right, we got Tim, not TA Tim. I know you guys hate XRP, but if they win their case, what has a higher potential to the upside? XRP, Ondo, or Solana?
Ondo, by far.
I would say the day of the victory, XRP is going to be the best performing asset in the top 100, except maybe Flare. But then if you go out like a month, you're probably going to wish you had the other two assets.
Yeah, I would say Ondo or Sol both have dramatically more upside, win or loss. I mean, both on market cap room to the upside and on narrative and on tech. The XRP, Ripple is going to be a viable company within this space. Ripple is massive. XRP, the token, they haven't really been able to generate a ton of demand for it beyond what they had in 2017. Ondo,
no, man, people in South Korea using those remittent payments like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, Ondo and Sol have huge new upside, huge new narrative, big people behind it. So, I mean, still, again, and they're smaller market cap already still, and the tokenomics are better still. So,
it's something about investing. You want to invest in speculation, not like where it's at today.
Yeah, I love you guys. I hope you can get out of Solana, or I'm sorry, get out of XRP without taking a loss. I know most of you guys that are holding it are probably deep in the red on it. It's a tough decision to know when to cut your losses and move on. But sometimes we did that with XRP a while ago. I would recommend it. Just had you taken a 50% hit and moved it into, I think what I did with the XRP is moved it in Solana a long time ago, and then Solana's doubled since then, and XRP's gone down. So I'm very, very happy with my choice. It's always hard to do it when you do, but you need to do it. Another super chat from 55 Bacon or 505 Beacon or Bacon. When will the total value increase ease lead to process increases for Ondo and Chainlink?
I would argue that it already has. The difference is over the last few months, Bitcoin's been pulling back. But if you look at Ondo's chart, I mean, guys, go to CoinGecko, right? Ondo's by far actually one of, if not the best performer in terms of large cap cryptocurrencies in the last 6 months. I mean, the max chart is up and to the right. So you see here in June 5th, it stopped pumping. And it just started following the market conditions, right? June 5th was the top of that Bitcoin rally at 70K, pulled back, right? So look at this, higher low, higher low, higher low.
Yeah, it looks good. From a chart perspective, TA perspective, does look good. And TJ, I don't think it's a 505 Beacon. I think it's a 505 BA Con. So he's out there. That's why he's asking about. I'm just.
Well, you have Nate Garassi tweeting out here, Matt Hogan from Bitwise Investments, the CIO and co-founder of Future Proof and previous CEO of ETF.com. Says if you want to invest in tokenization for growth, Ethereum is like the picks and shovels. I would argue that Ethereum and, of course, Chainlink is the pick and shovels, and that's because Securitize is partnered with Chainlink to provide a lot of that on-chain data, and it's pulled by pretty much everything else as well with their CCIP and their oracles. So I would say Chainlink, guys, Chainlink's already a massive market cap. If you're looking out of those big ones, this is the thing, market cap matters. There's very few people out there that try to argue that it doesn't, but it does. It is the value of the current market. It's what people are paying for it in terms of tokens. So even if it does get that price action, it takes a lot more volume to move something like Chainlink or Solana than it does for something like Ondo. So if you're looking for performance, but you have to realize, guys, when you go for performance, higher performance means higher risk.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into accountability. What do we got here? Duke now on CoinW and trending on DEX. Trending on
so
DEX.
Good job.
Right now?
Good job there.
Holy
While he
smokes.
looks
Let
that
me pull
up, we do have, speaking of commodities, securities, we do have CFTC. They are happy to step in and take the helm from Gary Gensler. Very important note about Chair Benham. I think his name is Rostin Benham. Rostin Benham voted most likely in his high school to be secretly controlled by an alien inside of his body.
An alien inside of his body?
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, most likely to be a supervillain like sidekick that takes over. You know what I mean? Like he's the right hand man to the supervillain. That when the supervillain goes down, he's going to try to take.
Yeah,
over
he's like the villain that's like either like really smart and cold and calculated, or the one who like can't string together sentences. Like, duh.
Yeah,
he just has that look.
Oh well, it is.
No, we actually are fans of the CFTC to control crypto versus SEC. I'm kidding.
We're
I'm
fans.
sorry,
We're
Rostin.
fans.
Rostin, I'm a fan.
Guys, we're fans. We're fans. Yeah, just be safe there. Stop letting them come out at us. We're gonna get an email soon. We're gonna get an email.
Step up to Gary Gensler in a real way. That's all I'm asking.
But yeah, we are trending here. I got to try to find it here. Trending on DEX screener. We have the fire emoji next to it, but I can't see it. So I'm either my glasses need to be wiped. But guys, we have pumped like literally 50% in the last 24 hours. So that's huge for you guys there. Next up, we have, of course, Ethereum Rainbow Chart predicts Ethereum price for end of 2024. They're looking at a very high, surpassing briefly $4,000. But the Rainbow Chart would be, where is the Rainbow Chart here? Rainbow Chart. Wow, what would it be? It would be steady zone. They now give us a price?
Oh, they do, right there.
Conversely, trading above $8,900.
Okay.
Wow, $8,900.
You know what? Maybe I'll do a big breakdown on that tomorrow.
$12,791.
I might do a big 2024 ETH prediction video tomorrow. Stick around for that. Make sure you have notifications on Disco.
Yeah, if you guys aren't watching those 7 p.m. videos, we just started doing a lot of really good information in there. Whether you've been in crypto a long time or new, we're just putting a lot of tools and research things. So, yeah, that'd be a great one for 7 p.m.
Well, we have some bullish news for another altcoin, guys. And again, yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. Go check out those live streams. We also do a 4 p.m. and a 7 p.m. Guys, get that crypto news for you guys. Coinbase allegedly collected this altcoin.
This is
Guess
huge.
What, chat? Okay.
Victory lap time.
This is a victory. This is W's in the chat. Everybody that has this token that I'm about to show you needs to smash
Freaking
W.
Buckle up.
And you better be hitting that like button because we've been warning them. This is what we've been saying is going to happen to this project. Yes, it's been pulling back. But we're like, there is no token for one ecosystem specifically, and that is Base.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to see is accumulation of the largest liquidity providers, maybe the DEXs. Yeah. And in this case, Coinbase is accumulating none other than Aerodrome Finance. Aerodrome Finance. According to data from crypto analyst platform Nansen, Coinbase Ventures secretly, not anymore, purchased Aero after Aerodrome, which had previously announced it had purchased its own altcoin Aero from the market. In total, Coinbase purchased at least more than $4.7 million, so $2.7 million worth, according to Coinbase Ventures. So now Coinbase just bought Aero at these lows. That tells me that if they're entering this market secretly at this range, this is a great area to DCA into Aerodrome here.
And
so
if you're wondering, like,
Aerodrome,
when was the last time they
Aerodrome
bought
holder.
the last batch of buys? About a week ago, everybody. So this is some like, hey, we found a purchase in February and we're talking about it. No, they're actively purchasing.
Yeah, I found it right. Is that what you pulled up here?
This tweet right here from Nansen.
From that, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I couldn't see that far. So yeah, you could see that this is recently. So this means they bought at the bottom, which is very interesting.
Man.
Very interesting take there. Cardano, though, we have a story for DZ here. Cardano enters the gaming arena. Do you know a lot about this, DZ?
Yeah, it's a game called Chrono Shot. It's a sci-fi shooter game, and it was added to the wish list on Epic Game Store. So a pretty big step for the ADA ecosystem. Cardano, he says, Cardano games on Epic makes me happy. So Cardano-based gaming is coming, folks. And our video yesterday, all about the most significant milestone in Cardano's history. Make sure you check that out. Let me slide a little to the right so you can just see that awesome thumbnail that Aaron worked hard on.
Beautiful, beautiful thumbnail, guys. That's what we got for you guys today. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and stop missing out on all of the amazing content, guys, here every single guys. Thank you for watching.
And real quick, hit that like button or we're going to force you to stash your Bitcoin under your skin, folks. So, yeah, we'll just end with that scary picture right there if you can, TJ.
Yeah.
Hit the like button or that's happening
now
to
you.
you.
Can stash your Bitcoin under your skin. And that is disgusting. That is gross.
And today's show is powered by Arculus, the best cold
that right out of you.
Today's show is powered by Arculus, the best cold storage wallet on the market for you guys. One tap,
Total security, self-custody is the most important trait and characteristic and attribute that you have to have and utilize in crypto, or else you're going to get wrecked. You got to get yourself that metal hardware wallet self-custody for you guys. Use code DC10 in the description below.